Well, they all get trialed. So they all go to...
Hold on, I'm sorry. That made me laugh. Now I got trialed. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay.
Hi guys, it's Amanda here, your cutie of Carnage.
And I'm Jess KORESH, your disco duck.
Here on Channel Sundown. You feel good about that?
Why are you holding your hands? You're not Jesus.
Today we are doing another horror review. Today we're going to be talking about a film everyone's been talking about, and that is 3 from Hell. I'm pointing at the graphic over here, not at Jesse.
I ain't from hell.
We were lucky enough to get the last 2 box sets of 3 from Hell at Walmart. It comes with a t-shirt. If you guys can, sorry about the glare, but the t-shirt, this one right here, this guy's wearing, it comes with the Blu-ray and the t-shirt. It's a collector's. I haven't opened mine because
she was smart and didn't open hers.
Yeah.
But one of us did.
Yeah, so I got an unopened box for 3 from Hell, and I'm gonna keep it unopened because I mean, I like this shirt. The shirt's cool, but I like the box set not being open. And apparently it's hard to find now because we took the last 2. And we saw a lot of people posting. And we looked on Amazon now, and it's going for like, what, 40 bucks?
That's pretty average.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So mine is unopened, and I'm putting it on my shelf. So.
And they were only like $17.95.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Walmart by any means, but I mean, if $17.95 for a Blu-ray, DVD, and a shirt... Like, get out of here.
Right?
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Everybody knows 3 from Hell is the 3rd film in the Rob Zombie franchise. You know, you have House of a Thousand Corpses, and then you have Devil's Rejects. And the 3rd, which I don't know if it will be the final, but the 3rd, 3 from Hell. I like how they have the 3 in there. 3 from Hell. Get it? Because it's the 3rd film. Ha! And there's 3 people, so anyways. Written and directed by Rob Zombie, of course, like we just said. Starring Bill Moseley, who comes back in the 3rd film. He's in the first 2, you guys know, playing Otis. And then we have Sherry Moon Zombie, who plays Baby, again, back from the previous 2 films. And we had Sid Haig, who plays Captain Spaulding. He unfortunately passed away, and everybody is really sad about it. And luckily enough, I got this awesome pin. So, rest in peace, sir. I'm gonna love and keep this pen forever. So, and we have a new character played by Richard Brake, who goes by Winslow, aka Foxy. And one of the main reasons I was excited about seeing this film, because we met him where?
In Shreveport at the comic... No,
GeekCon. Yes.
I can't keep up with what all these conventions are called.
And he got me, he signed this picture, and it's awesome. And he's wearing your shirt. He's wearing the shirt. The Disco Sucks shirt, yep. And he signed it, and he wrote, to Amanda Raise Hell. So, yeah, he was an awesome guy. He was really sweet and awesome. So, yeah, it was kind of nice meeting him, and he kind of pushed me to kind of see this movie as well. So, yeah. How I feel about the film, you guys are about to find out. Like we said, 3 from Hell is the 3rd film out of A House of a Thousand Corpses, which was the first film that came out in 2003, and then the 2nd film, Devil's Rejects, that came out in 2005, and then, like I said, this one that just came out, 3 from Hell.
In 2019.
So the movie starts off as kind of the ending from Devil's Rejects when they walk out of the car, and then you think at the end of Devil's Rejects, you know, they all were shoot 'em up and kind of ended the film. Well, this film picks up right there. It shows news captions of like them talking about the 3, and they're like, anybody else would have died in the shootout. But they all made it, and they're walking away from it. So it starts off right away. They made it through the gunfire, and they're being taken to go to trial for their murders and mayhem. And of course, it's Captain Spaulding, Baby, and Otis.
More specifically, they all took 20 bullets and all survived comas, if you remember correctly from the film.
You are very correct, yes. So, during the trial, the news is basically covering this, and they're just basically celebrities now for all the mayhem they cause, and they become kind of this anarchy kind of deal where people are being interviewed and they're like, no, they're innocent, and it's not possible that they killed these people, and they kind of play them on the TV, kind of like, you know,
very natural born killers.
Yeah,
very natural born killers.
Yeah, and they kind of just are just this kind of like new celebrity, and people are just like, they're so cool and so great, and you're like, do you guys realize how many people they killed? I don't know, that's call me old fashioned, but yeah.
How many innocent people they killed?
Yeah. So during the trial, they all get their judgments, and unfortunately, well, I don't, in the movie, like, Captain Spaulding gets the axe. They off him. He gets lethal injection. So they kind of start off the film. You don't really see much of Captain Spaulding, but he gets lethal injection and passes. And Otis is left for trial, and Baby gets how many prison time? She gets prison time. She doesn't get the death sentence, but she gets prison time. And Otis is still up for trial. Before Otis even sees his trial time or what have you, I don't remember exactly. I think it was before his trial. He gets escaped. He gets let out because his brother, a new character that they introduced, Winslow Foxy, comes and lets him out. Yes, he lets him out, and it's kind of like this whole ordeal, and you're just like, oh, wow, who's this guy? And he's also a big part of the family that no one's ever talked about, and he's like, I'm here, Otis, let's go. So they kill everybody, and the reason why we know about this is because they're like, oh, this was on video, but all the people that were videoing the escape passed on, so...
And I think you know how they passed on.
Yeah.
They were murked. And he's like the unknown stepbrother that comes on the scene.
Yeah.
The hot new young gun.
Yeah. Otis escapes and Winslow gets him. They decide to make a little plan to get Baby to escape, to get her released. So they decide to kidnap some people, to take the warden hostage and what have you, and it becomes a big chaotic mess. First thing first, we're going to talk about the acting. Jesse?
Well, I'm going to keep it real.
I'm going to have him go first, guys, because I have a few things, and I don't want to, jump too soon. But yeah, go ahead. What about the acting, Jesse?
Well, the acting in this movie was mediocre at best. Sherry Moon Zombie.
Baby.
Baby. Somehow, I feel like she's gotten worse as an actress by this movie, because I don't mind her in some things, you know. I mean, she did, obviously almost all Rob Zombie's movies.
Yeah.
But I didn't really mind her in the other ones, but her character in this movie, and I mean, maybe it's not entirely her fault, but she was just so annoying in this movie. I couldn't stand it. And the plus side of the acting was they had Richard Brake in there, who we both know and love. Mm-hmm. And I want to know if you feel the same way about this, that Richard Brake is such a good actor that when he was in a scene with the other actors, it made them seem so much worse because he was such a good actor. Am I wrong? Do you agree with that?
Oh, you'll hear my points.
Okay.
I got 2 pieces of paper, guys. I'm not even lying. 2 pieces of paper. And I'm going to be reading it. So if y'all see me looking down, I'm reading notes. So, yeah.
No one's expecting, incredible acting from a Rob Zombie movie, but Richard Brake really is a good actor. And I felt like that he was doing such a good job at this character, just going all in on this character, that he was really stealing the scenes from everybody else, and it made everyone else's acting look that much worse. Especially Baby. If he was in a scene with Baby, forget about it. You know, it's literally a baby with this distinguished British actor. You know what I mean? Anyway, but that's I honestly I didn't care much for the acting, and I know that's not what people go to see Rob Zombie movies for, but in this one, I didn't particularly care for the acting, except for Richard Brake.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go on the acting. I'm gonna say I have a lot of notes, but I'm just gonna say this real quick. I am not gonna talk so much about the acting because I'm not trying to say this in a mean way, but it's a Rob Zombie film, so I'm not looking for like A-list acting at all. But I think he was reading my notes because the characters. Okay, I thought it was really. I could not stand Baby. I could not. It was so like, and the thing about it in the previous films, like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, she was very baby-ish, but it was taken very differently and stuff. I feel like this one, it was not trying to say this in a mean way, but a woman her age acting that way, it seemed like you thought the character would have, being in, everything just kind of like calmed down a little bit. I mean, still had the baby qualities, but it felt so overdone. Like, she's like, I'm a kitty cat, meow. I was like, oh my god. Like, and she's like, meow, like, stop it, Sherry. Like, and I know she's a good actress because I loved Lords of Salem, and and even in the Halloween movies, y'all know I don't like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, but even her in the Halloween movies, she wasn't too bad. Yeah. And so I just felt like I felt like the actings of the character were, and even like I said, like the guy who played the warden, and just all of them felt so constricted. Like it was very like, it was there felt no development in any of the characters. I mean, it's the third one of the franchise, so you should kind of like develop something more. In the acting, I of course liked Otis, Bill Moseley. I love Bill Moseley. I loved him since Texas Chainsaw 2. And Richard Brake, it sounds really kind of bad because it sounds like, we met him, so we're talking. But no, I was even looking for him to suck. I was like, okay, I can't be nice just because. But it made, those characters were something I was interested in. And had it been for Otis or Foxy, I don't think I would have been drawn to any characters. And so it's not even so much the acting that was bad. It was I had no interest in any of the characters. I really didn't. And I don't feel like the actors took a character and made it to something. It was just kind of like cut out pieces of something put. Anyways, yeah, so I was not very pleased with the acting, except, Otis and Foxy. I keep thinking that when I think of Foxy, I think of a girl. Yeah. So it's kind of funny.
He is Foxy, though.
He really is. Yes, he is.
One more thing I want to say about Baby's character is that I get that she's been locked away in kind of like solitude for a while, and so that may have caused her to act more babyish. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you would also expect her to have like a little, like a little crazier. But she went crazy. It seems like she went crazy in the wrong way. It's like not crazy like, aha, I want revenge. It's like, I'm your baby. I go poopy in my diaper. Yeah. Like what the hell. Yeah. And it, like you said, it really was. I'm sorry, but it was annoying. It really was. And she's like that through the whole. Spoiler alert: she's like that through the whole movie.
This is the interesting part. We're going to name our pros and our cons for the film. Jesse, you go ahead and go first, sir.
My pros for the movie would be that it had Richard Brake in it. And it looked, stylistically, it looked good. Amanda?
Well, one of my first pros is kind of like a pro/question. How is it that Baby had perfect teeth? So Baby had perfect teeth in the film. So that's a pro. And my main pro is actually going to be the dialogue between Winslow and Otis. Foxy and Otis. The dialogue between them was really funny and really interesting. And the scene in the hotel room, like, I thought it was really funny, and I just like their conversations back and forth. And my third, I actually have a third. Third is Baby. It's kind of like my pro and my con. I'll just go ahead and say my pro and my con for it is she, of course, escapes prison on Halloween. And I thought that was pretty interesting how they did that. But as a second point, I wish they would have kind of made it, would have focused on it more and made it more, you know, abrupt that, hey, it's Halloween, you know, but they didn't. So you would think Rod Zombie would have, like, emphasized the Halloween more. But anyways, yeah, so there's that.
So my cons for the movie would be, my first one is that it seems like there was just a lot of unnecessary stuff going on in this movie. It almost felt like it almost felt like it was like improvised. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a whole lot of plot to it. It's, I don't know. It was kind of all over the place. It was like, oh well, let's go here, and now let's go here, and let's do this, and let's do this. It wasn't structured like a proper movie. I don't feel like. And I know I'm being really critical of this movie, but I had high expectations for it. And I also feel like without Captain Spaulding's character in it, they really should have stepped up the game and had like a more, you know, something along the lines of a more interesting character. And not that Foxy wasn't an interesting character, but
like a Dr. Satan too, or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
And not that Foxy wasn't an interesting character, but he was just like the other two. So you basically have this movie, the three from Hell Gang are basically all the same person now. Well, except for Baby, who's like a really annoying version of the two guys. But I feel like they should have had like some other really exciting new different character in there. So that's it. Those are my cons, I would say.
I have a few cons that are on my list, so let's get to reading, y'all, shall we? Yeah, guys, I'm gonna be reading, so let's put these on. The glare.
She's broken up the glasses.
Okay, here it goes. Alright, so my first negative, my first con is going to be... Wow, the glare is so bad on these glasses. Sorry, guys, excuse the glare because I have to wear these to read because I got notes, okay? So, my first con is going to be the cartoonish Baby. The whole thing, I'm not going to really grasp on it too much because I just said it earlier. It was too cartoony. It was too childish. She should have kept that personality, but like I said, I felt this one was more cartoony than when she was younger. So, I don't know, like that whole aspect I just didn't appreciate. It got too much, like her just acting like a kitten, and then the daydreams she had and stuff. It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And they make her so, like, it was believable in the first and the second one, like how much of a badass she was. But this one, it kind of downplayed it. It didn't really show her being a badass, but she played off as being a badass. It was like, I don't know. So yeah, my first one, con, is going to be the whole Baby character. I just, the way they executed her as a character was just no good.
A light bulb just went off in my head. You know what I think they were trying to do?
What?
I think they were trying to make her like a Harley Quinn type character.
Oh, wow.
I think they were trying to make her like Harley Quinn, except for she wasn't. It didn't work. Like that just came up. I just thought of that. I was like, oh shit, maybe they were trying to make it because everybody loved Harley Quinn. You know, everybody still does. And I think maybe they were trying to, because you know Harley Quinn has that kind of like playful kind of essence, but she doesn't do it over the top like that.
Yeah. That's true.
Think about that.
Interesting. My next con is going to be there was no tension in this film at all. Three from Hell had no tension at all. In The Devil's Rejects and House of 1,000 Corpses, it sounds like I keep like comparing these together, but it's a series, so you would think they would still have those levels of tension because there are scenes like with the clown and just with the victims and the hostage situation. You would think they would have had a bigger grasp because, like, you guys remember House of 1,000 Corpses, they had the hotel scene, or not the House of 1,000 Corpses, Devil's Reject, they had the hotel scene, they held, and even in Devil's Rejects, they had the three that they held, you know, and it just, there was no tension. It felt like everything was kind of recycled from the previous films. Like, everything was recycled and reused, and nothing felt like, even when the girl's running from Baby, you're kind of like, been there, seen it, done it. Like, there's there's nothing that grabbed me and went, oh, I never went like that. So I know that's like, what is that, Amanda? But I never I never held. There was no. I felt no tension. I never thought. I never thought, oh, how are they gonna get away? How are they gonna fight? No, I didn't have any of those. So that was my other con, is there was no tension in the film whatsoever, and that was kind of a letdown, big time.
One thing that I want to say, and I want to see if you agree with me on this, is that literally and figuratively, this movie was missing the darkness that other Rob Zombie movies have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no. First of all, I mean, literally. When I say literally, it's because a lot of it was in the daytime. You know, like in Mexico in the bright sun. You know, and also in figuratively, I mean, like there wasn't that dark, creepy element to this movie. It didn't have. It didn't have any of that. And I don't think like it was. That's what it was missing. It was missing that dark. Because Rob Zombie movies are like this dark, gritty, ugly thing, you know? And I just feel like that was completely missing from this movie.
Well, they did it in Devil's Rejects, like, you know, whenever they, you know, so when the girl was wearing the face and she ran out of the hotel and then she got hit, you know, like, that was in the day and that was pretty gritty and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, but she was wearing a face.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
I know, but that's what I was saying. The way it was filmed,
yeah,
though, even in the daytime, it was really gritty and stuff. And
exactly.
there was none of that in this one. And see, that's another point, because that was going to be my next point, is there is not much of a horror influence in this film, and that kind of got me kind of, because even in Baby's little visions, daydreams, whatever you want to call them, there was nothing, because you would think they would have been like, you know, when it went, in her mind, things would have gotten crazy. You know, you thought they would have had more visuals and what have you, and they don't. She basically is thinking about a dancing kitty. Like, spoiler alert, there's a kitty ballerina. But anyways, sorry guys, a spoiler. I should put a spoiler alert there. There's a dancing kitty cat. But anyways, it's a dancing kitty cat. But like, I felt like things could have been took to a different level, and they didn't. They kind of stayed mediocre through even the horror scenes. There was, like I said, like, so that kind of goes with your grittiness. Like, there was no sense of horror. There was no sense of Rob Zombie.
Do you know what the dancing kitten reminded me of?
What?
The killer in Stage Fright, the owl head, because it had like that giant kitten head. That's all I was thinking the whole time.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
There you go. And then there's that, guys. Stay tuned for that video. The Warden. Oh my gosh. Like, are you serious? Like, the Warden was so unbelievable. Like, there was no aspects of Warden. You either have to play him, like, really, really evil, or really, like, he has to have, like, things. There's nothing interesting about him. There was nothing that grabbed you. You never felt. It was just, like, he cried. Just, like, cried and got upset. Like, there was no, you didn't feel like, oh, well, I'm angry. It was more like, no, I'm angry. And you're like, there's a scene, I believe, I don't remember, where he goes, I'm angry. Like, so the Warden, the Warden, they should have played that character. They should have had a different Warden. But that's my other con right there, is the Warden.
I don't think it was the actor. I think it was the material that he was given to work with.
Yeah, true. Anyways, that's going to conclude my cons, guys. Sorry I had a few, but I was expecting so much more. And I just felt like the things I was giving, it did not feel like what I was going to get. So yeah, there's that.
You know what they should have called this movie?
What?
House of 5 or 6 Corpses. So I think it's pretty obvious what my verdict is. I don't really know. I would say maybe like 2 out of 5 or something. I would say wait till this movie comes out on Redbox, but it's already on Redbox because it was only in theaters for like 3 days and then it came back for 1 day. If you're a Rob Zombie fan, check it out. You might enjoy it. It's got very mixed reviews. Some people like it. Some people love this movie. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people are... But that's how all Rob Zombie movies are. They're usually very polarizing. Either you love them or you hate them. You don't have a lot of people that are in the middle. So I'm saying if you're a Rob Zombie fan already, go ahead and check this out and let us know what you think about it. if you are not a Rob Zombie fan, there's no point in you watching this movie because A, you haven't seen the first two, which I don't think you really need to see the first two to watch this. But this movie's not going to win you over by any means. This is not the movie to win you over to Rob Zombie if you're not already a fan. So if you're not a fan, you can go ahead and skip it. If you are a diehard, go ahead and watch it and form your own opinion.
Well, my opinion is going to be I did not like this movie. I did not. I have a lot of, apparently you guys saw, like, I have a lot of cons of the film. And I think that Rob Zombie was smart with how he released his film because there was a lot of hoopla around it because it was only in the theater for a very limited showing. And then, you know, the box set came out and everybody was like, yes, yes, we gotta get it. And there's this big hoopla about it because everybody was like, oh, Rob Zombie has a new film and it's not in theaters anymore and it's going to come out and stuff and it's Halloween and there's a lot of hoopla around it. And I feel like it kind of was that way because I think if it came out in theaters and stuff and it had a regular release and stuff, it would not have been the up and up like people put. So yeah.
I'm not going to break any records or anything.
Yeah.
I think you really hit the nail on the head with that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It was his marketing strategy on this movie was genius.
It was.
Yeah.
But like I said, this, I just, no guys, and I feel awful because I love Richard Brake. He is such a sweet guy. We sat there, we love Mandy. And we're just sitting there talking about him filming Mandy. We were talking about Lords of Salem, and he's like, oh, if you don't like Lords of Salem, I'm going to call Rob Zombie right now. He was so fun, and he didn't have a line, because a lot of people hadn't seen 31, I guess, and because we were in Shreveport, Louisiana, so everybody was Louisiana.
Louisiana?
I'm making a
boy,
joke.
you just got 10 times more southern.
And it was Shreveport, Louisiana, so a lot of people didn't have a big line and stuff. But he was just so sweet, and he was talking about film, and he was talking about Game of Thrones, and he was just and he was really actually good in this film. He's great in Mandy, in The Chemist, in Mandy. And so I, like, really, really, really wanted to like this film. And so when I was watching it, I kept, like, sitting there, and you can ask this guy, we were watching it, and I was like, and he was like, oh. And, like, when we saw Baby, we're like, he saw my face and he goes, ooh. And you, like you said, yeah, I started writing. And he was like, and he was looking at me too. He was like he said earlier, he goes, I knew you were not going to be able to stand that Baby character. Because I was like, Anyways, yeah, so I did not like this film. And it really kind of, what frustrates me the most about it, because there's a lot of potential. This film could have been there. This film could have went there, and as much, you know, as a fanfare many fans as he has, I felt like this was a big disappointment. I feel like there's a lot of talent that was not used in the proper way or format. So yeah, I did not like 3 from Hell, guys. So sorry if you guys think I'm wrong, but I did not like it. It was not okay by my standards. I did not like 3 from Hell, so. Anyways, this movie can go straight to hell. Get it? Because it's from hell. Ha ha! See what I did there? Write that one down.
Oh, are we making jokes?
Yeah.
I didn't see the second From Hell. Where was Johnny Depp?
Oh, I get it, because the movie. Oh, okay. From Hell. I'm going to write that one down.
Use that one, kids.
Well, that concludes our review from 3 from Hell. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you think we're too judgmental? Do you think my reasons were stupid? Do you think his reasons were right? Let us know. Comment below.
That's, you spitting that fire every time.
I know, I rhyme. I rhyme all the time. There we go. Do not forget that we seek approval, so do not forget to like, and subscribe. Subscribe right there, guys. Anyways, until next time, bye. My wave isn't as enthusiastic because I'm just... Ugh.
Did you ever see that show Green Acres? I feel like farm living is the life for me. They wave at the beginning of the show. Like
Oh,
that.
I get it.
That's what it was like.
3 from Hell. If you guys saw the... Oh, wrong. If you saw... I'll do that again.
That always confuses me too.
Yeah.
Wait, no.